This morning, there's a desperate attempt in the newspapers to big up Rachel Reeves as she goes off on a Davos pilgrimage with a dual aim to cast Britain as an investment haven in the middle of European uncertainty and somewhat ambitiously to outshine Mr. Zelensky in the headlines, while Reeves might craft a compelling narrative for foreign investors. Eclipsing Zelensky, a wartime leader of global reputation, is something like pitching a midweek budget airline as more glamorous than a private jet. Reeves's mission is not without its contradictions. 2 years ago, her Davos debut, or is it Davos? Her Davos debut was an effort to rebrand Labour as business friendly, and this time she has to reconcile her pro-investment rhetoric with policies that have sent millionaires packing and sparked murmurs of stagnation. The UK economy expanded at a glacial 0.1%, hardly screams safe bet. She might have been a talking point when she was all promise and perspective, but now she's actually in power and has delivered a disaster. I mean, it's not quite the same disaster as Liz Truss, is it? It's not quite sort of, let me be clear. I'm waving my hands around because I've been practicing all morning, and let's just admire Kwasi Kwarteng's prodigious package. There's not a lot of difference between Liz Truss and Rachel Reeves in the charisma department, is there? And the only difference, I think, is the amount of hand jobs that Liz Truss has practiced in vain. Rachel Reeves doesn't need to practice because she's actually quite adept at speaking in public. She doesn't look ridiculous. She simply acts in a way that is ridiculous and likely to spark smirks of disdain and dismissal. The UK economy is no better place today than it was under Liz Truss. It's no safer today than it was under Liz Truss. The surveys have ranked Britain second only to the US as an attractive investment destination. But that optimism feels like a fragile veneer once you start looking at Rachel Reeves, the deeper issues, the soaring borrowing costs, the shaky fiscal credibility, controlled by Rachel Reeves. You know, there's a point at which you want to say, bring back Liz Truss, because at least we can see that she is crazy. Davos is not merely a gathering of global political powers, of power players. It's a theatre where soft power and private meetings overshadow public speeches, and Reeves' strategy aligns with this ethos. Closed-door discussions with figures like Jamie Dimon and key pension fund executives will form the backbone of her visit. The hope is to secure tangible commitments that could reinvigorate her economic plans. Yet the optics of Reeves meeting with Trump allies while attempting to position Labour as a stabilising force will raise eyebrows back home. And complicating matters, Reeves competes for attention in a forum dominated by household names. Zelensky will undoubtedly command the high moral ground as a symbol of resilience. Meanwhile, figures like Olaf Scholz and Ursula von der Leyen bring the gravitas of running established European powerhouses. And Reeves? What is Reeves? A Liz Truss lookalike. Her selling point, political stability, is less a virtue and more of an attempt to reframe post-Brexit doldrums as an opportunity. Political stability? We have none. Political stagnation? Political dissent? Dissent not as in an argument, as in a direction. The Chancellor's real challenge lies not in pitching the UK, but in convincing anyone else that she has the clout to deliver, that she's meaningful. That's the same trajectory that Liz Truss was on. I'm meaningful. Let me be clear. I'm meaningful. She's not meaningful, except as a portent of doom, and we've got one of those in the skies. With downgraded economic forecasts looming and no fiscal room for costly reforms, Rachel Reeves' promises are a mixture of ambition and austerity and absurdity. If she fails to generate palpable momentum, Labour risks being seen as all talk and no substance, all skirt and no frock, an image that she desperately seeks to avoid. Where's my trousers? Actually, it isn't where's my trousers, is it? The Ken Dodd thing is, where's my shirt? Ultimately, Reeves' trip to Davos is less about overshadowing Zelensky and more about salvaging credibility, and her safe bet pitch may resonate with investors nostalgic for British pragmatism, but the real test lies in whether Reeves can turn high-altitude platitudes into grounded economic gains. And I'm afraid the auguries, they don't sound good. The augurs are bad. As for eclipsing Zelensky, perhaps she should settle for sharing the same stage and hope the snow doesn't melt beneath her feet.